Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all doing well, that you're having a lovely week so far. My name's Emily and welcome to MemilyMakes. Okay, so hope everyone is good. Hope everyone's having a fantastic week. My week's been a very jumpy week. There's a lot going on here. I do have a number of updates, but quickly before I do the updates, the birds in the garden are being very loud today. It's fine, got no issue with that, absolutely love hearing them. But just in case you hear them, I do apologise if it is distracting. But yes, I've got my vents open. I like to keep the airflow through the house. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure if my phone will pick them up because they are being a bit loud. So my apologies if they are distracting, but as I say, I'd rather keep the vents open, keep the airflow through the house, and it might be a nice welcome hearing them tweeting. If the phone picks it up, if not, we're all good. Anyway, on to the updates. My first update for you is that Saturday, the 3rd of June, will be my May, I'm trying to remember the months, my May month-end wrap-up video. I'll be recording it after this weekly podcast, but it won't be available until 10 o'clock, that's 10 a.m. UK time on Saturday, the 3rd of June, so that will be ready. My next update is that next week, my weekly podcast won't be happening. I have mentioned this a couple of times in that I will be away. It's actually the 24-hour of Le Mans, so I don't know if you can read that, can you? No, you can't really read it, it's quite small. If I turn around, you can probably read it. I'm not sure if you can even see it. Yeah, so woo, yeah. I'm super excited. It will be the centenary of the 24-hour race at Le Mans in France. Oh, I'm so excited. It's a motor car race. And yes, I'm so excited because it has been years since the last time I went. We used to go regular, we used to go every year. My first race was back in 2011 and I was hooked, absolutely loved it. I can't explain the experience of being trackside for a 24-hour race. It's just phenomenal. So what we do is we camp for quite a few days. The race is on Saturday, so a week Saturday, starts at 3 p.m. in French time and then finishes at 3 p.m. the Sunday, the day after, 24 hours. So they're racing through the night, and camping trackside is the best experience because you hear the cars throughout the night and it's just wonderful, absolutely amazing. And when we used to camp at the Mulsanne corner, you can actually feel the vibrations of the car through the floor while you're trying to sleep, and it's just the best experience. It may sound awful to a lot of you, I do understand that, but for me it's one of the best experiences. To be that close to a race is just, it's phenomenal. It is absolutely amazing. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. There will be a lot of lack of sleep. There will be not a lot of sleep at all. But because we're going away, I won't be able to have time to record and edit and schedule the video. I just won't have the time. I could try and squeeze it in on Monday or Tuesday, but I am working in the office and I've got a lot to prepare because I'm actually away 2 weeks this month. So I've got a lot to prepare because obviously I manage a small team and I need to make sure that everything is in place so that we hit the deadlines and, you know, there's no massive rush in that final week in June. Yeah, I've just got to be a bit more mindful and understand that my time is going to be heavily leaned towards my actual job at this moment. So no weekly podcast, that's a long way of saying no weekly podcast next week. But I have, in anticipation of this, I have filmed 2 videos for you. One will be released next week. So although it won't be a weekly podcast, you will get the usual schedule of there being a video on Thursday. So Thursday, the 8th of June, that is, at 4 p.m. UK time. I have scheduled the video to go live and it is a 2-part mini series. Not entirely sure if how it's going to be received, but I'm excited about it. And it's a 2-part series kind of on my journey through through using my tools of crafting. So the first video, if probably make more sense if I explained better. The first video is going to be a journey of my knitting needles. So most of them I had. One type of knitting needle that I used to use, that I started with, I don't have anymore. I have given those needles away. But everything else I have examples to show you and little stories alongside. So it is basically a journey through my knitting needle evolution, if you will. The following week will be the normal weekly podcast because I will be home. Then the week after that, I am away again. I'm going to the Lake District. Very exciting. So I will be away that week. So again, there won't be a weekly podcast on Thursday. I've got the date, the 22nd of June. Thursday, 22nd of June. There won't be a weekly podcast, but the second and final part of my little mini series will be out on Thursday the 22nd of June at 4 p.m. UK time, and that will be a journey through my crochet hooks. So yeah, I'm quite excited about them, to be honest, because they were fun to film and it kind of took me down memory lane, reminded me of a couple of stories and things like that. There is a little trigger warning in my knitting needle video, so just be aware of that. I will say trigger warning before I delve into it. I also don't delve too deep into it because it was quite a traumatic period in my life, and yeah, knitting really helped at that time. It was the one thing that I could just focus energy in, and it was just amazing. So that trigger warning is based on hospital. It's nothing too severe. It was just that something went awry in my body, basically. And yeah, I had an extended stay in hospital thanks to that. I can laugh about it now. It's perfectly fine. But just wanted to mention that in case you are going into that video. I do mention trigger warning prior to delving into it, and I don't go too deep. I don't go into details. So just to put that there in case, just yeah, make you all aware. I mean, I'm quite a bubbly person as it is, so I'm not one to wallow on stuff too much. Although it was traumatic. But anyway, let's carry on with the rest of the format. So I've given you the updates. You know that the videos are coming out still weekly, but next week and not the week after, but the week after that, so the 8th and the 22nd of June are going to be that mini series. So yes, I hope that you enjoy them, because obviously I'm not going to be here, but I really hope that you enjoy them. And yes, I do ask for comments because I'm curious as what you guys use as well. Please feel free to comment on them. Please let me know what you use. I'd be very intrigued. I am very intrigued. Anyway, right, let's jump into this week's crafting. I've got no finished objects for you. Unfortunately, I couldn't finish Ruth in time. You will see her in a moment and you'll understand why I couldn't finish her in time. But there's no finished objects this week. Now, works in progress. I didn't do as much as I really wanted because I wanted to finish Amelia Earhart. I haven't touched her since last week. I don't know why, I just haven't. I reach a point on projects and I'm like, no. Do you guys get that? I'm not sure. I mean, this could be why I have had so many projects on the needles. I mean, I know it's not a massive amount in the grand scheme of things, but to me it was a lot because I just see them all everywhere. I'm like, oh, why can't I finish them? Anyway, right, so onto the works in progress that I have worked on this week. The first one is not that one, it is this one. So the first project that I have worked on the past week is my Very Veronica socks. They are by Twinset and Pearl, the pattern is, and the yarn is by Botanical Yarn. So this is their sock club from the collaboration between Twinset and Pearl and Botanical Yarn, the sock club, and this is from 2022. These are August's socks. And as my partner rightly pointed out to me, we're nearly a year up to this point. So August 2023 is very close. So I need to get these done. Yeah, I don't want to be a year behind with all the socks, but we're nearly there. We are nearly there. The first sock I have finished, so I'm working on the final sock now, and I'm actually working on the gusset. So if I show you, I'm in a massive tangle, which will be no surprise to anybody. I don't know how I manage this. Anyway, so there's the gummy bear, and that is where I got to last week. I have since finished the leg of the sock. I have done the heel flap. I've turned the heel, and I'm working on, be easier to show you this side. I'm working on the gusset now. There's no reason why I didn't finish the gusset. I could have quite easily finished the gusset, but I didn't. Excuse me, I am quite croaky today. I'm not sure why. Too much excitement. But yes, that's where we're at with the socks. Still loving them. And I can't remember what September's socks were like. I'm hoping they're going to be a little less lacy, because obviously the lacy design it looks stunning. It's absolutely stunning, and it is very fun to make, but it does take a lot of time. It's very time consuming. So that's where we're at with Very Veronica. Getting there, not too bad. Quite pleased. Now with the next project, forgetting where I am. My next work in progress is my grey Totoro by Lucy Collin. I think I've nailed it now. I think I can remember the designer. As I've said before, her name isn't written on the pattern, so when it comes to doing the podcast, I keep forgetting. You know, I should probably write her name on the pattern, so that would be a good idea. But yes, my grey Totoro. Now, I've not done as much as I should have on him. So if I quickly show you, this is what he still looks like. He is still just the body with the eyes, all stuffed, all ready. There's not much more, but I will show you. What I have started is his tummy. As you can see, I should have finished this, but if I hold it up against him, that's going to be his tummy. Obviously, it needs to get a lot bigger than that. But we're underway. We're getting there. I've still got a lot to do. I've got his ears. I've got his 2 ears. I've got his arms, and then he's got a tail, quite a stocky tail to go on. And then all the sewing. So he's got sewing on the face, his whiskers, his nose, his mouth, and then he's also got some nice little. They look like darts, like arrows on his tummy. So yeah, not too much further on him compared to last week, but there's progress. There's progress. Now, the next project that I have been working on, I'm absolutely loving this project. It has become my bedtime knitting at the moment, unless it's the lacy section. If it's the lacy section, I can't do that while I'm reading and trying to sleep. So here we are. This is the Find Your Fade shawl by Andrea Mowry. As I say, absolutely loving this pattern. I mean, it's an Andrea Mowry pattern. What's not to like? She's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to show you. Where did I get to? Here we go. So Bulbasaur will show. I'm going to try not to drop this in my tea. Bulbasaur is where I got to last week. So I was in the lace work. If I bring this back, you can see, again, I've done a decent chunk. I'm actually at the point where the project is filling the cord, which is great. I'm also at the point where there are no further increases. These are the amount of stitches that I will be knitting for the next, I don't know, the patterns are all the way over there. I don't know how long I'm going to be knitting this amount of stitches, but I get the feeling that the next change in stitch count will be the decreases on the other end, I imagine, but it will be this for a little while. So this shawl I'm absolutely loving. Let me scooch back a little bit. Ooh. Oh, and you'll have to excuse me if you see it. I have stained my lovely white t-shirt. Yes, I have a tendency to spill coffee on myself. Whenever I'm at a racetrack, I do spill coffee on myself. Fun story, I used to marshal at racetracks, so I used to be one of the people dressed in orange who stand at the marshal posts and wave flags, and also go out and sweep the track and tend to any problems. My first time marshalling, I got my lovely new Pro Bands. They were amazing, they were clean, they were amazing, and I got myself a coffee, and the first thing I did was spill the entire contents of the coffee all down my lovely new shiny Pro Bands, and yes, I was not very impressed. But yeah, that's something that I do. I spill coffee down myself when I'm at a racetrack. Yeah, it's never good. Anyway, I completely digressed. So, as you can see, this shawl is getting pretty big now and pretty tangled. Oh no, there we go. Yeah, so I really, really love this shawl. It's doing exactly what I wanted to do. This shawl, I am using all West Green Loft Yarns yarn, and I absolutely adore her yarn. Absolutely wonderful. And they're just very subtle colours. And over the years, I've just bought many, many single skeins. I mean, we all do, right? We all buy many, many single skeins of variegated yarn. It sits in a cupboard and I just don't know what to do with it because I need the perfect project just to make the yarn sing. So I amassed many, and there was enough to make this shawl. So 7 skeins are needed for this shawl to do the fade. I mean, you can do whatever, you can tailor the pattern to whatever you have. But I decided to use 7. This bottom colour here is actually a darker blue. They're 2 blues faded together. So there's the darker blue down the bottom, which you can just about see. And then there's a paler blue here, which then faded into the first of my greens, which is like, let's see if I can bring that. So you can see the darker colour there, and then we come down, you can see the paler blue, and then you can see it fading into this light green. Then that light green faded into this darker green with blues and different colours actually. It's a really lovely skein. So what I wanted this shawl to be was basically a celebration of West Green Loft Yarns because they're absolutely stunning. And I wanted it to be a subtle fade, which that is exactly what it is, which is wonderful. And, oh, I'm tangled again. The next colour will be the first big jump, I think. So if I bring it up, this is the next colour. So it's this absolutely beautiful deep pink. And I think that's going to pick up some of this because it's got some blues in there as well. And I think that's going to look really, really nice with that. I mean, I don't think it's going to be too big a jump, but it might be. So yeah, I'm really excited to get that colour in, but it's a little ways off before I can get that colour in. But yeah, this pattern is amazing. And as I said, I am now no longer increasing. But what is happening is this side of the work, so there's a central spine, this side of the work is actually decreasing, while this side is gaining that extra. So I'm decreasing by 1, which means that this side is increasing by 1. So slowly, this is actually getting, as you can see, a little, so here are the stitches as they're increasing, and then you've got this slight angle here. So that is slowly going to start coming back in, which is going to be amazing. And this one is just going to keep going out. So I'm really, really excited to see the shape develop a little bit more. But I don't have the notes. I have a couple more rows of garter here before I do another lace section. And I think the lace section will be in this colour, so this one. And then after that lace section, I think is when we start fading this one in. So I'm really excited. So this, as I say, is colour 4. I'm getting there. I feel like I'm past the halfway point, which I am actually, because that's 4 colours out of 7. So yeah, really loving this shawl, and I'm so happy with how it looks. Yeah, really pleased. So yeah, highly recommend this pattern if you, want to do a nice big shawl and you have many mini skeins. I mean, it could work with mini skeins, you just need a lot. But yeah, if you have many single skeins lying around and you think, oh, that actually work quite nice together, give it a go. That's what I did, and I'm so pleased with it. It just looks beautiful. But yes, that's my Find Your Fade shawl. Now, I did start last week. My cast on was Ruth the French hen. So part of my birds of Christmas, I'm jumping ahead. So part of the Partridge in a Pear Tree, crocheted 12 birds of Christmas. I have finished, as you can see, Felix and Beatrice. They are both up there. And I cast on last week Ruth the French hen. Isn't she awesome? I love her hairdo. It's amazing. So I cast her on. I had hoped to have finished her this week, but alas, I did not. So I've got her in this bag here. Just all the parts that I finished, I just chuck in this bag. Everything else goes in one of these Toft bags. So I fill it with all the yarn that I need for the specific bird, and then I use this as the project bag. So any parts that I'm working on will go in here. I'm not actually working on one at the minute, I don't think. But all the finished parts go in here. Now, if I get them out. Right, so last week I had gotten to, giving her a bit of a squish. Last week I had gotten to here, so from the bottom I'd done up to here. Not a lot, but since then I have since finished her head and did her little hairdo. That's awesome, isn't it? It's so good. But this is the reason she's not finished, because this took me a long time to do. I did it, not yesterday, I think I did it the night before. No, it might have been yesterday actually. And yeah, it took me ages to do her hairdo. I have finished her legs. So her legs are here. Oh. Obviously they're not attached to her body, but there's her legs. They are ready to go, ready to be attached. And then I've done her wings as well. So there's 2 wings there. So all I have left to do, I think, is I've got to sew, obviously, her legs on. I've got to sew her wings on. I think they go that way, don't they? No, I think they go... Oh, I can't... Yeah, I think they go that way. So I've got to sew her wings on as well. And then she has a tail. And I think the tail is done the same way that her hair is done, but it's off the back of her body. So I couldn't face doing any more of this at that point in time. So that's why she's at the stage she's at. Oh, and I've got to sew her eyes on as well. But yeah, she should be done by next week, but there's no podcast next week. So she should be done in 2 weeks' time when my next podcast is. But yeah, she was fun. She was just a little challenging in terms of that hair. But yeah, that was Ruth. Work in progress. Yeah, pretty pleased. Now, I have done a cheeky cast on. Yeah, I know. But I have put it down as well. I don't know where it is. It's here. Sorry. There we go. I have done a cheeky cast on. I know. I was supposed to finish 2 objects before I could cast something on. I have 1 in the bank at the minute. Excuse me. My nose has gone a little itchy. I have 1 project in the bag at the moment, so I need to finish 1 more project before I can cast something on. However, I've ignored that. As I said, I think last week, I'm kind of leaning more towards I want to cast things on again, rather than doing my structure. But I don't know, I might discuss this a little bit more in my month-end wrap-up, but I have cast something on. That's just neither here nor there. I've cast something on. And my reason for casting it on is because I really wanted to use and have a play, because I've never done this before, really wanted to have a play with some self-striping yarn. I've never used it before, and I really wanted to just get a feel for how they work. Yeah, just out of interest really. And they're amazing, they're so good. This particular yarn is, I'm gonna have to pull the ball band out a little bit, is by the Little Grey Girl. I'm not pulling the ball band all the way out because it tends to get stuck. And the colour is Unravel Autumn 2022. So this is the colourway that Gemma dyed up for Unravel, the Autumn Unravel last year. And I just really liked it. And it was a sock set, so I got 50 grams of the this self-striping colourway, and then she dyed up this lovely colour, contrasting colour to go with it. So what I'm doing is I'm using this colour for the heel, toe and cuff, and then I'm using the self-striping for the rest of the sock. The pattern is, sorry, my nose is super itchy. The pattern is actually just a vanilla sock, just a traditional vanilla sock. There's no designer because it's just going. And that's it really. The thing that I'm doing slightly different, I will show you. Shuffling closer. So here is the sock so far. It just looks awesome, doesn't it? It does look really good. And I love that as you knit, the colour starts to change. There's no, there's nothing I'm doing to change the colour. It is just changing. The thing that I am doing, I think you can see, is when the colour changes, so when I get onto a new band of colour, I am doing knit one, slip one. I have seen a number of people on YouTube mention this method, and I've given it a go because, yeah, I really wanted to see how it worked. And I think it really is effective in terms of a self-striping sock because it makes it a little less vanilla, if you know what I mean. So yeah, obviously the cuff is just 2x2 rib, so knit 2, purl 2, and then just go in with the striping. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. I'm really enjoying the self-striping. I think it's fascinating. And yeah, it's doing exactly what I wanted, and I just wanted to get a feel for self-striping yarn and have a play. I just wanted to play, you know, how it gets. So yeah, I've been really enjoying this. I am very nervous using a 50-gram skein of yarn for the sock knitting because I'm just not convinced it's enough. I'm really not convinced it's enough. But there's every chance it will be because obviously the heel, toe and cuff are going to be in this 20-gram mini. So that should cushion some of the yarn. Yeah, let me know how you guys get on. I might shorten the leg as well, possibly. But that is what I've cast on. I'm not in a hurry to finish it. I just purely wanted to play with self-striping yarn. I wanted to get a feel for it. That's what I've done. So I'm very, very pleased. And this yarn by Gemma the Little Grey Girl is absolutely beautiful. I think it's, it looks like 2-ply, but it's absolutely beautiful. I love it. So yeah, that's my cast on. Now, in terms of acquisitions, I don't have a lot. My Beatrix Potter, the next instalment of my Beatrix Potter Attic Spin Dies Beatrix Potter subscription club, that has been dispatched. That was dispatched yesterday. I'm not expecting it to arrive today, but it should arrive by Friday, I imagine. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just going to take a drink because I am parched. My old faithful butter brew here. Oh, that is so, so nice. Right, I did get some other acquisitions though, and I thought, do you know what? I don't think I show these acquisitions. I get them, but I don't show them. So I think it's nice to show because I love seeing what other patterns people are, what patterns other people are thinking of making. And I think it's really fascinating to see what patterns are out there that I might have seen or might not have seen. It's just really interesting to me, and other ideas on how these patterns might work for someone. So I've just realised, actually, hang on, I'm just going to lean over here, get my little bucket of yarn. I love this bucket. It used to be the bucket of shame. It is now the bucket of yarn. It is the you're a knitter, baby. So that's from Stephen West's Mystery Knit Along 2022. Love this bucket, and now it is the bucket of yarn. So it's like a bouquet of yarn. Anyway, I'm gonna grab this one. So the first pattern that I've purchased this week is the Musselburgh hat by Isolde Teague. I watch Nitty Natty and I absolutely adore her, and she has made so many of these hats. If you check out her channel, she's done a recent video of the evolution of her Musselburgh hats, because she's tailored the pattern to various things that she wants it to be. So I bought that pattern because I do want to make it. It sounds like an amazing pattern, and I did get a lovely yarn the other week that I really want to use it with. That's why I got my bucket, which is this one. I think that's going to be beautiful for a Musselburgh hat. I think it's an absolutely stunning skein of yarn, and it is by Dye and Knit by Kate. Her shop is on Etsy. She's absolutely amazing. She does some really beautiful colourways. In fact, this one and this one are hers as well. These I did show a couple of weeks ago in an acquisitions, but yeah, she does some absolutely stunning yarn. So this is the colourway that I want to use for that hat. I think it'll look pretty cool. It is Minty Breeze, that's the colourway, and it is 70% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 20% nylon. It's alright, I can't read very well. 70% superwash merino, 10% cashmere and 20% nylon. So that's why I'm not really keen on doing them as socks. I'm sure they'll be fine as socks because of that nylon content, but because they've got cashmere in it, I'm thinking a hat. So this I will probably use for my Musselburgh hat. Pop that back in my little bucket. There we go. Right, now, the other pattern that I bought, I have no yarn for. I just love this designer, and yeah, I keep eyeing up this pattern, and I thought it's about time I buy it, so I did. This is a pattern by Along Avec Anna, and it's the Rosa cardigan. It's beautiful, isn't it? I absolutely adore it. Now, I'm not great when it comes to cardigans, but I think this one is absolutely beautiful, and I hope it would sit okay on me, because cardigans, when I button them up around the bust area, they tend to pull, and you get the gaping between on the button band. You get like a little gaping, and that's why I tend to not really do cardigans that close too much. But I really want to try. And get this, another thing that I want to try with this is I want to do it cropped. So with those 3/4 sleeves cropped on one of my skirts, it will look absolutely stunning, especially in like a paler colour like this white, or a off-white maybe, I'm not sure. But I think it's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning, and hopefully I can get it to sit right on me. But yeah, that's the other pattern that I got. Right then, that about covers everything. Again, just quickly, next week there won't be a weekly podcast, but you will get a video, and that will be my knitting needle journey video. So, hope you have an absolutely amazing rest of the week and an amazing week next week, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.